Adult movie usage is down 47% since the introduction of the Online Safety Act. But not in my house, it's not. All I did was download Surfshark for less than the price of a coffee a month, and trust me, that is more than paid for itself. 10 times over. Honestly, it's the gift that keeps on giving. I just click on Surfshark on my phone, click on I'm now in America, and then I don't have to do all of this, enter your age, enter your ID. I don't want to send a picture of myself, I just want to see some big boobs. But whatever you're into, Surfshark has got you covered, and it is the easiest app to use ever created. And also, if you want to watch boxing and football, this app is going to come in handy. You know exactly what I'm on about. And it works on all of your devices, so what the hell are you waiting for, lads? Just click the link in the description below, go to surfshark.com/kickoff, and you can get the ultimate game changer for your everyday entertainment in Surfshark for less than the price of a coffee a month. And that includes 4 extra months of Surfshark when you use my link. So not only are you having a good time, you're helping us keep the lights on and make more good content for you. This is a no-brainer. It's a win-win. So do me a favour, get on it. Newcastle United just got beaten by one of the worst sides in the league. West Ham, no offence, they deserved it, fully. But they beat us and they're still in the bottom 3. They've won 1 of their last 5 and it was against us mugs. And they're not even good at home usually. They're under pressure. And we made it easy for them. And this is the real sad thing about it, because I'm really going to give West Ham the credit they deserve. We were lucky it was only 3. They had a goal disallowed, they hit the post twice. I mean, we're sat in 13th right now, and this is like a real moment in the season where these lads need to have a word with each other and go, do we actually want to have a good season or not? Because the margin for error has just been wasted already this season. You've got no more room for it. Just like last season, ironically. And I don't know why this keeps happening, where Newcastle start every season asleep, but it's not fucking on like. And at least the one good thing that can come out of this is people can't put in the comments, oh, it's because Alexander Isak. We were shite at the start of last season as well with him. You look at our record in the last 5 games, loss, win, loss, win, loss. And the wins weren't even good performances, by the way. Yeah, we're losing away games. We're actually not even good to watch at home right now, aside from when we're playing a shite Champions League side. And just to make matters worse, Sunderland's last 5 games, draw, win, loss, win, win. If Sunderland can perform, there's no fucking excuse. I don't want to fucking hear a single fucking excuse, because they're putting our lads to shame right now. And that lot have been cobbled together over a summer. We've got lads who've been playing together for fucking years now and should know better about the standards. And what's even more frustrating is I've been saying this was coming for weeks. This was after the Brighton game. Newcastle got exposed for being a bunch of athletes and not enough footballers today. Our midfielders and wingers, time and time again, can't string 2 passes together, much less create anything. Voldemort living on scraps yet again. Imagine we actually gave them service. You could say that about loads of our games this season. That exact phrase. And even when we beat Fulham, I put a post out because the win was, yeah, we got 3 points, great. But the performance was that of a losing side. Eddie said after the game, I don't think the performance was bad. I'm delighted how we found a way to win. And I get sometimes, you as a coach, you've got to focus on the positives. But all of the problems were staring them blue in the fucking face. I said, I love Eddie, but that performance was terrible. After all the money spent, to have wingers and midfielders who pass the ball that poorly is a disgrace. 0 service to the striker as usual. Just like in the fucking West Ham game, all of that applies. Do we even practice passing and crosses? We didn't look like a Premier League side today. Well, guess what? We've just been turned over by a team in the bottom 3 who can't fucking buy a win. Here's an example of the comments I got back on that. This is the problem with social media. Someone with such a daft opinion will be heard by thousands and create unnecessary pressure and negativity. These daft conversations were just at pubs after the game. Some people need to cheer up, yada, yada, yada. The point is, some football fans, all they care about is the result. Like when you're a kid or you're doing your homework, the working out matters as much as the result, because you're going to need to do the right working out to get the right result time and time again. And I was looking at the result going, yeah, the result's right, but the working out was all wrong. And if we keep performing like that, our chickens are coming home to roost. We're going to get found out. And I was merely not saying it to be negative. I was just trying to raise the alarm and say, this isn't going to last. And unfortunately, and I'm going to say it for what it is, thick football fans, they just see the result, they see the last minute goal, and they don't fucking care about performances. But what's been proven about the point I made that was fucking spot on is that performances matter. You've seen it earlier in the season with Liverpool when their performances were shit. They were getting last minute wins. What happened to them? They went on a losing run. Performances fucking matter, you idiots. And I'm sorry to get angry in that, but like, you know, this club matters a lot to me. And the way people abuse you after you say it's just a fact because they can't hear the truth and they don't want to have the negative. Watch the fucking match. That's the negativity. Me pointing out what's happening is not negative. The football is negative, you moron. We score a goal in so many games, and this is all Newcastle fans, if they've got a clue, will know I'm telling the truth here. We score the first goal, we sit back, and we invite pressure on. When did we start doing this, and who the fuck thinks it's a good idea? What happened to the team when we scored early on against Spurs at home, went for another and another, relentless, terrifying to play against that Newcastle side was? We moved the ball forward with such ferocity and like, yeah, we're not the best pass of the ball, but we were moving it so quickly that it was very hard for teams to keep up with us, and we were a nightmare to handle. My God, you watch them now. Where's the fucking bravery, courage? Where's the ambition to change the game, to take the ball forward for your team? When a player's on the ball, you want your teammates giving you options, making space. You pass, you fucking move, you make, and it's really basic stuff, this. I'm not saying anything that any decent football fan wouldn't have a clue about. When you watch Newcastle, the pedestrian nature, oh my God. Oh, is anyone available? I guess I'll pass it to you then. And then the defender looks up. Oh God, and it's just a lack of options. What the fuck happened to our team? 2 seasons running, we've given ourselves an absolute mountain to climb. And the only reason that there is even a possibility of that mountain being climbed, by the way, is because of Nick Voltemada. Without his clinical finishing, living on half chances. I mean, he has like 1 shot every 3 fucking games in the last few matches. No service at all. It is shameful the way we've brought this lad in, and the lack of service he's getting is a disgrace. And if it wasn't for his own brilliance and his own genius, they'd be calling him a flop right now. Because any other decent Premier League striker was getting that lack of service, he wouldn't have fucking 2 goals thrown up together. And that's why I was absolutely disgusted when Eddie took him off. I love Eddie. He's forever a hero. But this was like a rock bottom moment in his managerial career for me. I've never seen him look worse. You watch his body language on the sidelines. We know Eddie's the most calm, cool, collected manager. I admire the way he carries himself. He looked fucking shit scared. He looked panicked. He looked clueless. And I mean that. He looked like, what the fuck do I do next? He didn't have a fucking clue. And that was reflected on the pitch. Eddie said after the game, the most frustrating thing about the first half was that I could have taken anyone off. I don't think I felt that way since becoming manager of Newcastle. So of all the players you could take off, you took off the one who's carried our season, scored more goals than most players in the Premier League, while living on scraps. A player who's shown he can be anonymous, but you give him that chance and he'll score it every time. When you're trailing a game, it's fucking idiotic. It's the dumbest substitution I've ever seen in my life. Like, fair enough, if you're bringing on a player who offers you an equal threat, that's not what he did. He brought on a young kid who was a bit of a headless chicken who occasionally things fall to, and he scored in the last 5 minutes when everyone's knackered. The technical ability of Voltemada, and you're bringing him off. Why don't Man City bring Haaland off when they're trailing games at half-time then? I'm not saying he's as good as Haaland, but to us, he is our guy. It was so disappointing. It really was like, we've fucked the whole game now. That was a, you fucked the whole game level substitute that. And I love Eddie. I back him. I want him to stay as manager, but we'll have to say the truth. Never do that again. If our only real goal scorer in the whole fucking squad isn't in the game enough against West Ham, who are notorious at like bad at handling crosses in and all of that, you tell your fucking wingers to put a decent ball in for once in their fucking life. Give him some service. Don't take him off the game. He's the one who can actually do something for you. And until Eddie realises that you need to have a real long sit down with your wingers and sort this out because the service is a joke, you're never going to get the best out of Nick Voltemada. And we're going to end up like having such a great talent and we're going to fucking waste him if we don't do the right thing by him, because he's keeping his end of the deal up. You give him the chances, his conversion rate is ridiculous. And Eddie should be judged on this because top coaches get the best out of their best players. Nick Voltemada, he's the most technical player we've got by a country mile. To bring a player of his quality off for a player like Osula at half-time, not in the last 5-10 minutes, at half-time, I don't know if there's another substitute in the football world that you'll see where it's like that level of drop in technical ability for a player. And then what do? We lump balls into the box. We do long throws when we've taken off our 6'6" striker. Shut the fuck up, man. I need to talk about Anthony Gordon. This has been coming for a long time because I've done a few videos where, you know, he got sent off before the cup final. He got sent off earlier this season, missed 3 games. No one seemed to give a shit. He gets such an an easy ride, Anthony Gordon, because of what he did early on in his Newcastle career. But a lot of what Eddie Howe needs to now do is stop thinking about the past, stop being too loyal, and think about what people are performing like now. And it really doesn't matter that Anthony Gordon had a good game against Latvia for England, or a couple of good games against the worst sides in the Champions League, who wouldn't even be comparable to a mid-table Premier. Even West Ham gave us more trouble. Bottom 3 in the Premier League. The level of the Premier League is higher than those. So people are going, why can he do it in the Champions League, but he can't do it in the Premier League? Because it's fucking harder. And after those couple of good games, people are like, Anthony Gordon's back. Is he fuck? 2 games in a year does not mean you're back. He's gone 21 Premier League games without a goal and 19 games without an assist. Those numbers, for the pay he's on, for the reputation he's got, mate, Anthony Gordon is the most overrated player in the Premier League right now. For where people see him at and where he's actually performing, fucking hell. It's time to tell the truth. And let's be honest, against West Ham, he shit himself. Wan-Bissaka has the pace to keep up with him. He's a strong lad. Despite what Anthony Gordon thinks about himself, in my opinion, the reality is he relies a lot on pace, and when the player can keep up with him, his technical ability is fairly average. I think he carries himself like a top player. He doesn't deliver like a top player. He dresses like one. He doesn't play like one. And I think in his head, when he sat left, he thought, I'm top dog now. I'm going to be top boy. We're seeing the penalty thing of, I'm penalty taker, not Voltemada. Mate, Voltemada's got more talent in his little toe than you. What the fuck are you doing, mate? Just focus on providing for him. When he gets in front of goal, Anthony Gordon, it happened against West Ham. He had Voltemada. He could have played him through on goal, and we know what happens in that scenario, and instead he takes a shot at safe. He wants the headlines more than just making the teams win. Your job, main job, is to provide for the fucking goal scorer and chip in a few if you can. He wants to be the main man. Voltemada is the main man. Get that through your head. Know your fucking role and give him the ball. Simple as that. Imagine Thierry Henry, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Alan Shearer stepping aside as the main goal scorer to let some fucking winger take the fucking penalties. You just don't do it because strikers are judged on their goals. It's their job. And the more they score, the more they're likely to score. The kid hasn't contributed fuck all in 20 fucking Premier League games, man. You don't deserve to have that role. You got sent. You missed 3 fucking games this season. You missed the cup final. You shouldn't be the guy who's on penalties. And I like Anthony Gordon a lot, but like, enough's enough, man. Because it's detrimental to the team. And the sad truth of it is, all our wingers aren't very good. Jacob Murphy's outshining the rest of them, right? Anthony Gordon in his head thinks he's a better player than Jacob Murphy. You're actually not, though. And Murphy drifts in and out of games, but every now and then he'll pop up and do something. I do think Murphy's guilty of the same thing, by the way. We've seen in the first 2 fucking games Voltemada played, you got a cross in from Murphy, scored. Cross in from Tonali, scored. Where's the fucking crosses been, lads? 6'6" striker. What the fuck are you doing? Every time Murphy looks up, he's going for goal. And look, he scored a couple of goals. The best thing about Murphy is his delivery. And it's as if they're not giving Voltemada the same respect they give Alexander Isak. And maybe it's because Isak, the way he carries himself, he's a bit of a knob, but actually it probably works for him. Voltemada, a nice guy. Just do the fucking job. How has Eddie not had he hasn't had a word about this. He should have done. From what I'm seeing on the pitch, there's no fucking way Eddie Howe has realised we're getting no service to Voltemada. You've got to up the levels, lads. That is like the most basic thing going wrong right now, and I can't believe what I'm watching. And you see on, content creators as well, why is Voltemada not in the game? What striker is in the game when they're not getting service? Even the very best, they all need service. I think Harvey Barnes is another one who just wants to get on and shoot at goal, doesn't want to create a lot, but he's got a good shot, but his general footballing ability, that is leaving a lot to be desired. I think our wingers are just so weak. We've brought in Elanga. It's a shame, because obviously spent a lot of money. He's obviously trying hard, but it's just not happening for him. And I think actually out of all of them, he's the one who's got the idea of let me get down the wing and try and get a cross in. But he's just struggling with the ball at his feet right now. But at least he's new to the club, and you think sometimes it takes a while to settle in and all that. But it's worrying. 4 wingers and not one of them are doing the fucking job properly. And that's our biggest weakness. In the midfield, I've been moaning about it for ages. We're just not keeping the fucking ball enough. It's a joke. We have spent a lot of money. We spent 150 million roughly on Ramsey, Elanga and Wissa, and yet we're still in a situation where our midfield can't pass a fucking ball. Bruno, I think, has had some great moments this season. He's a leader. Sometimes when your chips are down, he'll stand up and be counted. There's also some games where he's so lacking in concentration, giving the ball away. Where's that leader? He's one of my favourite players for Newcastle ever. I love him. I think he's a great bloke. But there's times where you're the fucking Brazilian, man. I've seen the way you play for Brazil. He's threading balls through. He's fucking unbelievable. We need more of that. When Voltemada drops in, the wingers go on beyond. You need to be looking for them runs every time. And most of all, you need to be telling the lads to fucking keep control of the game and not lose their fucking heads. You need to be dictating basically what the fuck is happening in the midfield and telling the lads where to go, what to do, you need to be organising them, because right now we look like a bunch of lost little boys out on that game. The minute West Ham pressed us, we were fucked, because we're terrible at passing even without pressure. So under pressure, we're really fucked. And that is something that Eddie Howe needs to take responsibility for, because I said it so many times, we've brought in a bunch of athletes, fighters, but not enough artists, not enough footballers. And in that role that Joe Linton's in, it's so apparent. Yes, he runs, he's a big, strong lad, but where's the technical ability to keep a hold of the ball, man? And if we're ever going to level up into a team that can possibly challenge for a big trophy, being the fighters, you can only go so far. You need to be able to control a game the way Arsenal can do right now. Keep a hold of the fucking ball. And that's why when people put our midfielders right up there, I'm like, well, if you can't keep a hold of the ball, you're not a top midfielder yet. And Declan Rice is doing that fucking unbelievably right now. And he showed when he came to St. James's Park what the best is right now. And I'm not saying Tonali can't rival him or he isn't a great... He's fucking great. Has the odd, imperfect game, yeah. But it's just the standards of keeping the ball. It's imperative that we actually learn how to fucking do this better. And that's something that in coaching and training, it looks like we're just not getting any better at. In fact, we're getting worse by the fucking week. And when Eddie Howe's spending 150 million on Wissa, Alanga and Ramsey, and we're still that bad at passing the fucking ball, you're damn right I've got a fucking point in tweeting about it. It's not about being negative, it's about understanding that something's not right here, like. So yeah, Joe Linton, he's a strong lad, but are you not going to try Miley? Like, what are we doing with this kid? Is he going to get the chance? And like, yes, as a young kid, he's going to have the odd off game, but ultimately, you're risking losing him just like you did Elliot Anderson, because he's going to want first team football to level up. So he's either good enough or he's not, because the way Joe Linton's playing right now, if I'm Lewis Miley watching him get a start over me, I'm like, what the fuck am I even doing here? And I wouldn't blame him if he left, because if Joe Linton can play that badly and get a start over you might as well not fucking bother, mate. Same for Ramsey. Ramsey, I'm unsure on yet. Like, we're still seeing him. He's had an injury. He's looked decent. We'll see how that one goes. But the Alanga signing obviously hasn't started great. Wissa, even worse. That's a lot of money, that. And if Wissa goes to AFCON after he came in, got injured immediately, and then fucks off again, and we basically see nothing of him this season until the back end, that'll be a disaster signing, that, because he was bought for the here and the now. We might as well have just kept our fucking money and signed someone who was a better long-term player instead of a short-term player, which is what he is. The defence, I'm not really, I'm not going to have too much of a go about, because I think Dan Burns playing out of position. Kieran Trippier has been an amazing servant, and he's not meant to be playing 3 fucking games a week at his age. So yes, if things aren't perfect, understandably, Hall and Livramento, the two young, England-level fullbacks, are injured, and that is going to hinder our attacks and the overlaps and things like that. I get that. The centre-backs, yeah, it was a fucking nightmare yesterday, but generally they've been good. I think Shaw is a good backup for Botman, and Malik Chow has been one of the signings of the season. That is a signing, along with Voldemort. We bought German. Everyone says don't buy German. Those two have been fucking great. Malik Chow looks like the real fucking deal, and I love him. He's fucking brilliant. But in goal, Nick Pope, again, like, if you're going to try and play it out from the back and we want to keep a hold of the ball more, which seems to be what Eddie wants to go towards, well, then you've got to play Ramsdale, because Nick Pope can't kick. And I thought his goalkeeping was... the thing he's known for is shot stopping. Against West Ham, it wasn't his best day. Given how well Ramsdale played against Tottenham, he deserves a start. Now, just to round this up, the lads made our dreams come true last year. So this is, like, not me wanting to tear them apart too bad, but it's just a well-needed fucking wake-up call, in my opinion. Yeah, they've got credit in the bank. Yeah, we love them. We love the manager. But this isn't acceptable. And they should know that. And my final message to Eddie, if he ever sees this, which probably not, but it's worth a go, please don't play a back 5. For God's sake, I'd rather get relegated. And secondly, just get the fucking ball to Voldemort, cross the ball in, give him some fucking service, please. Right, that's all I've got to say. I needed that. I feel a little bit better now. On to Champions League midweek for Newcastle. Fingers crossed we get a result. But more importantly, and this is really more important, we've got to fucking sort the league form out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.